What's up guys, PayDroV here. So I just want to explain this real quick. This video got blocked worldwide, so I had to fix it and adjust it a little bit. I don't know why I got blocked. I guess because that clip of Mexico with that strange light going on there. So I had to cut it short. It's still the same. It's going to be a good video. Stay tuned. I will be coming out with new content very soon. God bless you guys and enjoy the video.
Strange noises from an unknown location are keeping some Wake and Franklin County residents concerned. WRAL's Cullen Browder reports loud booms are rolling through neighborhoods that straddle the county line.
Northeast Wake County is normally a quiet area, still mostly rural, with plenty of wide open space.
She has a camera. Ooh.
It's one of the reasons Melody Jerome lives here with her husband and 3 kids. But lately, the peace and quiet has occasional interruptions.
Boom. Yeah, it's pretty big. It's pretty big.
Some of her Barham Crossing neighbors are reporting windows shaking. The Wake County Sheriff's Office received at least 8 calls in 2 days.
And of course, with 3 kids, we always check to see if it's one of them.
At first, some folks believed it was coming from the Highway 401 construction nearby. But the DOT says they're doing no blasting in that area.
Kind of ground shaking. You know, a little distant, but, close enough to have concern.
Other ideas floating around include military exercises or meteorites falling. And of course, the occasional mention of spacecraft.
But it's pretty startling early in the morning.
The booms seem to come early in the day or late in the evening. Some neighbors say the boom is so loud, it wakes their dogs.
I have no idea what it is, but I'd like to know.
Jerome just hopes her peace and quiet countryside will return to normal soon. Cullen Browder, WRAL News, Wake County.
Very interesting. Well, a spokesperson for the Wake County Sheriff's Department said they had a deputy sit out there a while recently, but he heard nothing. But just after he left, there was another report of the loud boom.
Oh my God! We got a goddamn Euphy, you sons of bitches! In fucking Texas, we got some goddamn Euphies. I'm just telling you right now, that ain't no goddamn helicopter, sons of bitches, plane. You kids clip me, kids jump out the goddamn picture.
That was fucking weird.
Alright, what is this? I've never seen geese formation like this. It's like
the whole sky.
It's like the whole sky. Very interesting. Whoa.
It's like not stopping.
Isn't this a little late to migrate, or? I guess not. Something strange is going on. They're flying away. Where are you guys going? Show us the way, we'll follow. They know something we don't. Wow. Wow. Oh, there it is. Over there.
ما شاء الله تبارك الله ما شاء الله سيارات مصقعة يمين يسار. هذه طلعة الهبوب اليوم 22/5/1440.
Turning now to a massive storm taking aim on fire-ravaged California.
Stunning picture showing how heavy rain is triggering mudslides and flooding and major highways. ABC's Marcus Moore is in Los Angeles, where mandatory evacuations were lifted overnight. Good morning, Marcus.
And Eva, good morning. The rain continues to fall, and that is the Los Angeles River just behind me, and you may be able to hear and see the massive amounts of water that are going downstream, at one point high enough to leave debris along the banks there. And in other parts of the region, there was dangerous flash flooding in the streets. Residents now recovering from a relentless deluge that triggered flash flooding and mudslides in Southern California.
The driveway was completely flooded. In fact, it looked like a waterfall. The water came all the way through my garage and inside my house.
The mud at times flowing like a river, violently snapping a tree here and snaking its way through neighborhoods like this one in Malibu. The flooded streets often leaving cars useless and underwater. A couch seen drifting into the middle of the road. And this Santa Maria resident describing a rude awakening.
Some guy woke me up telling me there was a tree on top of my car.
Pleas for help Saturday all throughout the state.
Water flowing inside of the home, resident unable to get out.
Anaheim firefighters rescuing a woman trapped in this car crushed by a tree. And you can see this dramatic rescue here in Yucca Valley. Helicopter fighting whipping winds to rescue an elderly man trapped in his car, and more rescues like it.
Swiftwater rescue. Female stuck in the river bottom. We have another Swiftwater rescue in the river bottom.
Saturday morning, one rescue turning fatal. First responder was killed rushing to help.
Well, history surrounding loud booms or blasts along the Wake-Franklin County line has not stopped.
No, it has not. So CBS 17 still digging deeper to see if we can uncover what these sounds actually are. Our Birchel Edmay back in the neighborhood with what else we have learned this morning. And Birchel, you've been out there a few hours now. Have you heard it?
I haven't heard it yet. I've been here for 2 hours, but you know what? In the last few weeks, the neighbors have said it's been off and on, but it's enough where they came to CBS 17 to help pinpoint what is that noise that's happening in this neighborhood, the Barham subdivision here on the Wake-Franklin County line. So I do want to show you a bit of the neighborhood, both in the late hours and the morning hours. That's when they're saying they're hearing this loud boom. And neighbors have said, you know what? It's not gunshots that they're hearing. They're familiar with hearing that maybe when there's a hunting activity per se. So they've asked us, you know, can you find out what's going on here? We went to several agencies. We went to DPS, or rather DOT, and they said it's not them. They're not doing any construction work. We did go to Duke Energy. They told us they're not responsible. Even reached out to military bases like Seymour Johnson Air Force Base just to see if it's maybe in their flight path in some work that they're doing. It's not them either. So we did go to the National Weather Service because one neighbor suggested maybe it's just thunderstorms that we're hearing. But the meteorologists there, the experts say there haven't been thunderstorms recently. So Mother Nature can't be blamed for this either. So at this point, we are going to keep asking questions of local agencies until we can pinpoint what that sound is, what's causing the shaking of these homes. When we find it, we're going to bring it to you. Reporting live, I'm Birchel Edmay with CBS 17 News.
Pasa la camioneta, la potencia del agua. Y justo la Chevrolet Look que quería yo,
I am confused. Being philosophically consistent and being a very honest person, I'm sure you can tell me where God came from. And in addition, once you've told me where God comes from, please try to clarify how you can figure that a spiritual force can have an impact on a material universe to create it. I think that some years ago we already talked about that kind of thing, in philosophical circles at any rate, by posing the question, if angels are made of spiritual matter, and a pen is made of material matter, and spiritual matter displaces no space, how many angels can dance on the tip of a pen?
You got 5 minutes. Now, I just want to know which question.
That's all right. You may take the rest of the minute.
We're supposed to do one question at a time. Which one would you like? That was part of the format for the debate. So which question?
I want you to fill in the story of the rest of the beginning of the universe. God, spiritual matter, impact on material matter.
Okay. So 2 questions. All right. Go ahead. All right, your question, where did God come from, assumes that you're thinking of the wrong, obviously it displays that you're thinking of the wrong God, because the God of the Bible is not affected by time, space, or matter. If he's affected by time, space, or matter, he's not God. Time, space, and matter is what we call a continuum. All of them have to come into existence at the same instant, because if there were matter but no space, where would you put it? If there were matter and space but no time, when would you put it? You cannot have time, space, or matter independently. They have to come into existence simultaneously. The Bible answers that in 10 words. In the beginning, there's time. God created the heaven, there's space, and the earth, there's matter. So you have time, space, matter created, a trinity of trinities there. Just, time is past, present, future. Space has length, width, height. Matter has solid, liquid, gas. You have a trinity of trinities created instantaneously, and the God who created them has to be outside of them. If he's limited by time, he's not God. The guy who created this computer is not in the computer. He's not running around in there changing the numbers on the screen, okay? The God who created this universe is outside of the universe. He's above it, beyond it, in it, through it. He's unaffected by it. So the concept that a spiritual force cannot have any effect on a material body, well then I guess you'd have to explain to me things like emotions and love and hatred and envy and jealousy and rationality. I mean, if your brain is just a random collection of chemicals that form by chance over billions of years, how on earth can you trust your own reasoning processes and the thoughts that you think? Okay, so your question, where did God come from, is assuming a limited God, and that's your problem. The God that I worship is not limited by time, space, or matter. If I could fit the infinite God in my 3-pound brain, he would not be worth worshiping, that's for certain. So that's the God that I worship. Thank you.